Fun fact number 1. The ex-fiancé face-off. Imagine calling off a royal wedding because your fiancé cheated, only to watch him march back up the aisle 2 years later with one of your childhood best friends. That's exactly what happened to Sweden's Princess Madeleine. She ended her 2009 engagement to lawyer Jonas Bergström in April 2010, after his ski resort affair became front-page news. Barely 9 months later, Swedish tabloids revealed that Jonas's new girlfriend was Madeleine's close pal, Stephanie Flora. Expressen reported the princess felt tricked and betrayed, and the friendship was over. Then destiny started mirroring milestones. January 2011, new loves on the same weekend. Jonas and Stephanie were first photographed together in Stockholm, while 6,000 kilometers away, Madeleine lunched with New York banker Christopher O'Neill at Central Park's Boathouse. October 2012, dual engagements. Jonas proposes to Stephanie just days after the Swedish court announces Madeleine's engagement to Chris. Summer 2013, twin weddings. Madeleine marries Chris in Stockholm on 8th of June. Jonas and Stephanie tie the knot at Stora Melassa Church on 17th August. February 2014, double baby joy. Katinka Bergström arrives on 13th of February. Princess Leonora follows on 20th February. From cheating scandal to synchronized relationship race, the former couple's lives stayed weirdly in step. Proof that even royal heartbreak can end in 2 happily ever afters. Fun fact number 2. The prince who was king-to-be for 7 months. Prince Carl Philip arrived on the 13th of May 1979 and was immediately styled Crown Prince of Sweden, the infant everyone expected to wear the crown someday. Exactly 229 days later, Parliament rewrote the constitution, and the tiny heir found himself politely bumped in favour of his big sister, 2-year-old Princess Victoria. Sweden had followed a centuries-old rule that only males could inherit, but the Riksdag's appetite for gender equality was already strong. On the 7th November 1979, it voted through the 1979 Act of Succession, introducing absolute primogeniture. Eldest child inherits, full stop. The law took effect on the 1st January 1980 retroactively, instantly turning Victoria into Crown Princess and transforming Carl Philip from future king to second in line, now fourth. Sweden became the first reigning monarchy to hard-code gender-neutral succession. King Carl XVI's Gustaf has admitted the retroactive switch still feels tricky. It was my son who was born, and they got rid of it all, even while acknowledging it ultimately strengthened the monarchy. So Sweden's only prince went from future sovereign to supportive little brother before he could crawl. And in the process, the country leapfrogged every other monarchy on royal gender equality. Fun fact number 3. Monaco still uses male preference rules. Princess Gabriella opened her eyes at the Princess Grace Hospital in Monaco at 5:04 p.m. on 10th of December 2014. 2 minutes later, her brother, Prince Jacques, arrived and immediately leapfrogged his older sister in the line of succession. Monaco still uses male preference primogeniture. Any legitimate son outranks his sisters, even if they're older, so Jacques was proclaimed hereditary prince and Marquis of Beau, while Gabriella became Countess of Carlard. Fun fact number 4. Something borrowed on steroids. Princess Madeleine's reception gown was her mum's 2001 Nobel Prize dress. When Sweden's Princess Madeleine glided into her evening reception on 8th of June 2013, guests did a double take. Gone was the 4-metre train Valentino she'd worn in the chapel. In its place shimmered a vintage Nina Ricci ball gown with a pearl-studded bodice, sequined tulle skirt and a wide white sash. The real twist? Queen Sylvia had debuted the very same gown at the Nobel Prize banquet in December 2001. Madeleine gave the heirloom a modern tweak, snipping off the original spaghetti straps and adding a dramatic satin bow, but left the fairy tale sparkle intact. The swap ticked every bridal tradition box in one go. Something old, something borrowed, something beautifully sentimental. Fun fact number 5. Guinness certified. Spain's King Felipe is the tallest king. If royal photo ops look like a tip-off when Spain shows up, here's why. Guinness World Records lists King Felipe VI as the world's tallest king at 1.97 meters, 6 foot 5.5 inches. In other words, he quite literally towers over his fellow royals and most of the crowd. So when you see a line of monarchs and one stands a head above the rest, that's probably Felipe, the king who brings his own built-in pedestal. Fun fact number 6. Royals really love the Cartier love bracelet. First launched in 1969 by designer Aldo Cipulo, Cartier's oval love bracelet fastens with a tiny screwdriver, symbolizing that the wearer is literally locked into affection. Half a century later, the bangle still costs between £5,000 and £6,000 and requires help to take off, which only seems to make it more desirable, especially in palace circles. At least 8 royal ladies own the piece, including Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Queen Mary of Denmark, Queen Sylvia, and Princess Madeleine of Sweden, Beatrice Borromeo Casaraghi, Crown Princess Marie Chantal, and Princess Olympia of Greece. So the next time you see a royal waving from the balcony, zoom in on the wrist. That little gold hoop with miniature screws might just be the world's most exclusive friendship bracelet, royally approved. Screwdriver required. Fun fact number 7. Prince Daniel was born on the same day Carl Gustaf became king. At dawn on 15th September 1973, Sweden woke up to breaking news. King Gustaf VI Adolf had died overnight, and his 27-year-old grandson instantly became King Carl XVI Gustaf. By lunchtime, the country had a brand new monarch. Just hours later, and 300 kilometers away in Örebro Hospital, another headline quietly arrived, a baby boy named Olof Daniel Westling. Nobody could have guessed the newborn who shared the king's accession date would one day become the king's son-in-law and future royal consort. Fast forward 37 years. On June 19, 2010, that same Daniel, by then a successful personal trainer, walked up the aisle of Stockholm Cathedral to marry Crown Princess Victoria, Carl Gustaf's eldest child and Sweden's future queen. He took the title Prince Daniel, Duke of Västergötland, cementing a coincidence so perfect it sounds scripted. So, Sweden didn't just welcome a new king on 15th September 1973. It also welcomed the man destined to stand beside the next queen. Fun fact number 8. The Flora scarf by Gucci was originally made for Princess Grace. Picture this. Milan, 1966. Princess Grace drops into Gucci's Via Monte Napoleon boutique for just a scarf. Store boss Rodolfo Gucci panics. Nothing on the rack seems worthy of Hollywood royalty turned princess. So, he commissions illustrator Vittorio Accanero to conjure something completely new. A riot of 37 flowers and insects swirling over white silk. The one-off gift became the now legendary Flora pattern. In 1973, Princess Caroline, Grace's teenage daughter, turns her mother's accessory into high fashion by wearing a silk blouse in the same Flora print for a Vogue photo shoot. In 2014, Charlotte Casaraghi, Grace's granddaughter, stars in Gucci's Forever Now campaign. She completes the 3-generation love story between the Grimaldi family and Gucci's Garden of Blooms. Fun fact number 9. Dancing Queen really was made for a queen. ABBA's signature hit made its live world premiere on 18th June 1976 at a glittering televised gala inside Stockholm's Royal Swedish Opera. The concert, staged on the eve of King Carl XVI Gustaf's wedding, was a tribute to the monarch and his bride-to-be, Sylvia Sommerlath. In front of Europe's assembled royals, the group launched into a brand new disco anthem whose chorus proclaimed, "You are the dancing queen." By the next evening, Sylvia truly was Sweden's queen, cementing the most on-the-nose serenade in pop history. Although Dancing Queen had already been taped for foreign TV, this was the first time Swedish audiences heard it live, and the only pop number in a program otherwise packed with opera arias and classical tributes. Within weeks, the single rocketed to #1 worldwide, but its very first dance floor was a royal wedding party.